Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And you know, it never fails. This scenario's happened many times over the past 20 years. And you know, May and June it'd be super dry, hardly no rain at all. July you get a little touch of rain here and there. It kind of helps the grass hold on, and then August rolls around, you turn dry again, and it might get one good shower during that month. And then all of a sudden, it's time to aerate and seed in September, and guess what happens? It just won't quit raining. We started seeding in our company about a week ago, which would have been the last day of August, I believe, or first day of September, sometime in that time frame. And it rained a little bit that week, and then we're going into the second week of September now. Actually, we're going into the third week of September now, I believe. Oh, what is the date? September 11th. I usually don't keep up with that stuff. So September 11th, whatever week of September that is, that's the week we're going into. Today, Sunday afternoon, and this past weekend, Sunday morning, all day Saturday, and all night Friday night. I'm gonna guess we probably got around an inch Friday night, and then somewhere around 2 inches during the day yesterday. And it wasn't a terrible rain because it was real nice, slow, soaking rain with a little bit of downpour here and there. And then last night, which would have been Saturday night, Sunday morning, got a little bit of rain overnight, not a tremendous amount. And then today, you can see in some of the mowing footage here in a second, it started raining on me while I was mowing, and then tomorrow is Monday, they're calling for off and on showers again. So I'm not going to push the rain away. I'm very thankful for it. It makes the grass really green. The rain is exceptionally good for the ground, so there's no way I'm going to push it away. But it does create a little bit of havoc sometimes on your schedule. And if you're a really busy guy like myself, then you understand what I'm talking about. This video isn't directed to people who their schedules are really laid back and relaxed, and you can kind of put the mowing off and wait a little bit until after the rain and let it dry up a little bit and then mow and all that kind of thing. You know, you guys have it going on. I absolutely admire that and respect that, but some of us don't have the luxury of that type of a schedule. So we have to mow whenever we can get the mowing done. And tomorrow I've got a renovation scheduled at work for tomorrow that I don't think I'm going to be able to do because it's too wet. So that means I got to juggle the schedule for the entire week and then try to work that renovation in toward the end of the week. So my week this coming week is going to be wide open. I'm probably not going to have time to get out here and mow my bluegrass unless, I kind of squeeze it in somewhere. So I wanted to take advantage of the day. When I got home from church, went and ate some lunch with my family, and then I come home and it wasn't raining. Now, of course, the ground's a little bit mushy, okay, but I'm not using a big mower. I'm using a little small push mower. The ground's firm, but a little bit mushy, so I'm not going to be creating any ruts or anything like that. And so I wanted to get out here and get it mowed. That way, just in case I don't get to cut it this coming week. Yeah, I'm trying to mow this about twice a week at least to keep up with it. It's growing pretty good right now. After this rain, I imagine it's really going to take off. And I'm trying to work it slowly back down to an inch because that's probably going to end up being about my winter time. Height of cut is around an inch. The point of the video is sometimes you're going to have to mow when you don't want to, okay? Again, I'm talking to you busy people. I'm not talking to you people that ain't busy. So there's two concerns I have when mowing wet grass. Number one is I don't want to rut up the yard. I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money out here last fall renovating this bluegrass. I don't want to put ruts in it, okay? So there is a certain point that you can't go past, and then I just say don't mow and wait. And that is when the ground is like really mushy, and it's so mushy that you're going to rut the yard up. Fortunately for me, this area back here drains pretty good, so I have a pretty good firm foundation. There are some areas that, kind of get a little mushy in some low-lying areas and then shady areas and stuff like that. I try to just stay off of those. Number two is the grass clippings. Now, you can bag them. Yep, I could easily put the bagger on my mower, but it's Sunday afternoon. I don't have a work truck here. Typically, I would schedule that out. I know I'm going to mow on a certain day. I'm going to drive a work truck home. That way I can bag my clippings if I want to. I'll put the clippings in the back of the truck and then haul them off. I don't have anywhere to dump clippings around here, okay? Yeah, I could do a compost bin or something like that, but this is 15,000 square feet of grass. That's a lot of clippings, and I just don't have the capacity to compost that many at one time. So normally I will schedule it out, drive a work truck home, and then haul the clippings off. But it's Sunday, and I don't want to go get a work truck. I just don't feel like going to do it, so it is what it is. Mulching, I'm not a fan of mulching. I personally don't have a mower that mulches really, really well, meaning chops the clippings up really, really fine enough to where I don't notice it when I get done mowing. So I'm not a fan of mulching for that reason and that reason alone. So that really leaves me with side discharge. Now, what will happen a lot of times when you have wet grass and a wet metal mower deck is when those two meet, the grass will stick to it. The grass will begin to build up under the deck, and then all of a sudden it can't build up anymore, and poof, it spits it out the side of the deck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know they make stuff you can spray up under the deck and makes it slick and all that. I got mine ceramic coated, but I haven't found any of that stuff that works against actual wet grass and a wet mower deck. I don't care what you put on it, chances are it's going to stick to it. And then again, once it builds up so much, it just can't stay under the deck. It's got to go somewhere. So usually it's going to come outside discharge or just fall out from under the deck and leave a big old chunk of wet, yucky grass right there on your turf. So the two ways you can mow to compensate for both of those things is one, the weight of your mower. You notice I use a small push mower out here. It's a wide Bravo 25 inch. Doesn't weigh all that much, so it's not going to create a heavy footprint on the grass. And I've mowed out here to know enough that I can mow it when it's a little bit wet and it not track up. Now I would say this is probably on the edge, meaning if it would have got much more rain, I'd probably just had to have waited. We got that much rain, but even though it rained like crazy yesterday and last night and the night before, this is drained pretty well, so I've got a good firm base so I can still mow. And this one's probably going to be more important, in my opinion, is how you leave the grass once you mow it. Okay, like I said, if the grass, especially if the grass kind of gets out of hand, gets a little tall, and you have to mow a little bit more off than you want to. Actually, this was up around 2 inches, and I was mowing it at 1 inch. So the 1/3 rule, I just threw it right out the door because I was cutting about 50% of the grass off. And no, it won't hurt it one bit. You'll see in the next video just how much better it looks even after doing that. And no, I'm not recommending you do that, okay? This is for busy people. This ain't for non-busy people who can micromanage their mowing. But the biggest thing you want to do when you get in that circumstance is you want to make sure you go back over the yard the same day, meaning immediately after you mow. It's going to be part of the mowing process. Take your blower, walk over the yard, and blow the clippings to where it scatters them out. You'll see the big piles of clippings laying here and there in the yard. Take your blower and scatter them. You don't have to evenly distribute them over the yard completely perfect. You just want to bust up those big chunks of grass clippings, because if those grass clippings are allowed to stay there, it will kill the turf that is up under it. I've seen it time and time and time and time again. Customers get behind on their mowing and they think they can cut it down a little bit shorter and save them some headache. But what they're actually doing is creating an absurd amount of mess in the yard, and typically they leave it. And then they have these dead spots of grass everywhere because they're sitting under big chunks of grass clippings. So if you don't get anything out of this video, I want you to remember this one thing. if you just so happen to find yourself in a position to where you must mow the grass and you have heavy chunks of grass clippings on the yard, you must take a backpack blower or a rake, either one will work, and you must distribute those clippings more evenly, meaning bust up the little chunks and piles and scatter it out across the yard, because when you do that, it won't hurt the grass one bit. But when you leave the chunks laying in the grass, that is going to do damage. I assure you it will. So best case scenario, if you had to mow when it's wet, then bag the clippings, and that way you don't have to go back and blow to clean up. But like I said, it just wasn't in the cards for that today, because I'm just not going to ride all the way to town to get a work truck just to come back and cut the grass and haul the clippings away. It was much more efficient for me and time conserving to actually take the blower and bust up the clippings when I got done mowing. So here's what we're going to do. I've noticed a lot of people have been contacting me saying, hey Pete, I don't get notifications that your videos are out anymore. I don't know what's going on. I'm subscribed to the channel and all that. So I'm going to start something new, okay? If you're on my email list, I'm going to send you an email every single time I upload a video, and it's going to be super simple, no marketing, mumbo jumbo or nothing like that. I'm going to say, here's the latest video I put out, the title of the video, and a link where you can click it and watch it if you want to. I'm going to use my current email list that I already have started, so you'll be seeing those. And if you want to be on that list so that you don't necessarily have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you're not getting the notifications through YouTube, but you do want to see the videos, sign up on the email list. It's down in the description below, and I'll send you an email every time I upload a video. As always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.